Hi, welcome to English Hamster. Are you learning English? Great. Here we learn through stories. They are simple and interesting. You can improve English while learning knowledge. Remember to subscribe, like and comment. Let's get started.
Life often feels like it's going on the same path every day. You wake up, go to work or school, and then go to sleep, only to do it again the next day. It's easy to feel stuck. Many of us stay in this routine because it feels safe and comfortable. But here's the truth. Your comfort zone might actually be holding you back from growing and achieving great things in life. In this article, we'll talk about how to break free from your comfort zone, step into new experiences, and transform your life. It's about taking small steps to get to where you want to go, and it all starts with recognizing that you are in a comfort zone. What is a comfort zone? The comfort zone is like a warm, safe blanket. It's where everything feels familiar, easy, and predictable. It's the place where you feel like everything is okay, not bad, not amazing, just fine. But here's the catch. When you stay too long in this place, it can start to shrink your dreams and potential. Imagine this: you wake up, go to work, scroll through social media, eat dinner, and sleep. It's not bad, but it's not exciting either. You may not be unhappy, but you're not fully alive either. You're just getting by. It's like being on autopilot. Does this sound familiar? If it does, it's a sign that it might be time for a change. You may have heard someone say, "I'll do it later," or "someday I'll change." The problem with later and someday is that they never come. The longer you stay in your comfort zone, the less confident you feel. You start to believe that you can't make big changes, but it doesn't have to be that way. Comfort zones feel safe, but they can also make you feel stuck. You might stay in a job you don't like, in a relationship that doesn't grow, or in routines that don't challenge you. All of this is because we don't want to feel uncomfortable. But here's the catch. Staying in comfort can quietly steal your potential. Think about the last time you avoided doing something difficult, like going for a run or saying no to unhealthy food. It might have felt easier in the moment, but later, you might have felt disappointed. This happens because avoiding discomfort makes you feel small, and the more you avoid things, the less confident you become. The first step to breaking out of your comfort zone doesn't need to be big. It can start with small actions that help you build trust in yourself. For example, when I wanted to improve my English, I promised myself that I would speak for just 5 minutes every day. It wasn't much, but I did it every day. Slowly, I started seeing progress. I felt proud of myself, and that small promise made a big difference. It's the same with other areas of life. If you want to get fitter, you don't need to run 5 kilometers on your first day. You can start with a 20-minute walk or cutting back on sugar at dinner. These small changes might seem easy at first, but they help you build trust in yourself. And soon, you'll notice that your confidence grows too. Research shows that doing something for 21 days can start forming a habit. This means that if you break your big goal into smaller steps and stick to them for 21 days, you will begin to see real changes. So, what if we divide your transformation into 3 blocks of 21 days each? That's 63 days in total. In just 2 months, you could be a completely different person. For example, when I started my fitness journey, I didn't try to go for a long run right away. I started by walking for just 20 minutes each day. It felt too easy at first, but that was the point. By keeping that promise, I built trust with myself. And that trust made me believe I could do even bigger things. The first week of making changes can feel strange. You might wonder, why am I doing this? Is this really going to help me? These thoughts are normal, but you need to push through them. By the second week, you'll start to notice a small shift. You'll feel lighter, not just in your body, but in your energy. People around you might not see the change yet, but you'll feel it. This is the most important part. During the first 21 days, you're not focusing on results. Instead, you're building a new identity. You're proving to yourself that you can stick with something. And when you push through, you start to feel stronger and more confident. Once you've made it through the first 21 days, something exciting happens. This is when people around you start to notice the change. Maybe someone at work says, "Hey, you seem more energetic lately. What are you doing?" Or maybe you start to speak English more fluently without translating in your head. These small signs of progress are proof that the changes you're making are working. But be careful, this is also when it's easy to slow down. You might feel like you've done enough, but that's the trap. This isn't the finish line, it's just the beginning. The key is to keep going. If you push through, you'll start living the changes, not just trying to change. The last 21 days are where the real magic happens. By now, your new habits don't feel like habits anymore, they feel like a part of who you are. You don't wake up and tell yourself, "I have to study English today." Instead, you wake up and want to do it. It's not a task anymore, it's something you look forward to. For example, let's say you've been learning English every day. At first, it was a challenge. You had to remind yourself and you didn't see much progress right away. But by the final stage, speaking English feels as natural as talking to a friend. You might not even realize it, but your brain has changed. It's no longer a chore to study, it's part of your daily rhythm. This is the stage where everything comes together. People start to notice that you've become someone different. Your posture changes, your confidence grows, and you feel more comfortable in your own skin. And the best part? You start helping others. Maybe someone asks you for advice on how to stay consistent, or a colleague wants to know how you've been so successful. You've become the kind of person you used to look up to. The amazing thing about this transformation is that you don't just change your habits, you change your identity. Your comfort zone, the one that used to hold you back, becomes a place of strength. It's no longer a place where you hide. It's a place you step into with pride because you've earned it. You've built it. You may not realize it at first, but over time, you've rewired your brain. You've created a new normal. And this new normal? It's a comfort zone you've stepped into on purpose, not one you've been stuck in. The life you've always wanted is just one step beyond that old comfort zone. One of the most powerful things you can do when you're making a change is to build momentum. Momentum is the force that keeps you moving forward, even when things get tough. In the beginning, it's hard to find momentum, but once you do, it's like a snowball rolling down a hill. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Think about it. After the first 21 days, you're not just trying anymore, you're doing. And by the time you hit the second and third phases, momentum is working in your favor. The hard part is behind you, and now it feels easier to keep going. This is the phase where you stop waiting for motivation. Motivation can be hard to find, especially on tough days. But when you build momentum, you don't need motivation. You just keep moving forward. That's the true power of consistency. As you work through these phases of change, it's important to stay committed to your goals. You won't always feel motivated, and you might face setbacks along the way. But the key is to keep showing up, even when it feels difficult. Remember, change doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be consistent. For example, let's say you're trying to get healthier. Some days, you might want to skip your walk or eat something unhealthy. On those days, remind yourself of the small promises you've made to yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself if you slip up. The important thing is to get back on track and keep moving forward, one step at a time. The process of stepping out of your comfort zone is all about building trust in yourself. At first, you might doubt your ability to stick with it. You might wonder if you're really capable of making lasting changes. But as you continue, you start to prove to yourself that you can do it. Each small success builds on the last, and soon, you'll find that you trust yourself more than ever before. You'll realize that you are capable of much more than you thought. And this new sense of trust will make it easier to take on even bigger challenges in the future. At the end of this journey, the biggest change is not just about the new habits you've created or the goals you've reached. It's about the person you've become. You've learned to trust yourself, and you've shown that you can keep going, even when it's tough. You've stepped into a new version of yourself, one that's strong, confident, and capable. This is the real transformation. It's not just about the things you do, it's about who you become along the way. And when you reach this point, you realize that you're no longer waiting for someday. You're living your life right now. Stepping out of your comfort zone might feel scary at first, but it's the first step toward a better version of yourself. You don't have to make big changes all at once. Small, consistent steps will help you build new habits, improve your mindset, and transform your life. And as you go through this process, you'll find that your comfort zone is no longer a place of hiding. It's a place of strength, a place you've earned by stepping up and taking action. So, whether you're trying to improve your English, get fitter, or reach any other goal, remember, you don't have to do it all at once. Just take one step at a time, and before you know it, you'll have built a new comfort zone that will help you achieve anything you want. It's easy to feel comfortable staying where we are. The familiar routines, the daily habits, they give us a sense of security. But the truth is, if you stay in that comfort zone for too long, you might miss out on many opportunities for growth. When you step out of your comfort zone, amazing things start to happen. You begin to experience new challenges, discover new abilities, and unlock potential you never knew you had. Every small step you take outside of your comfort zone is like opening a door to a new adventure. For example, imagine you're afraid of speaking English in front of others. It feels uncomfortable at first, right? But what happens when you push yourself to speak? At first, you might make mistakes. You might feel nervous or shy, but the more you practice, the easier it becomes. Eventually, speaking English will feel like second nature. You will gain confidence, and that confidence will help you take on other challenges as well. By getting out of your comfort zone, you also learn more about yourself. You discover strengths and abilities that you didn't know existed. You start to realize that you're capable of much more than you thought. It's like finding a hidden treasure inside yourself. Sometimes, the idea of making a big change can feel overwhelming. It can seem like a mountain too high to climb. But what if you didn't have to take giant leaps? What if small steps were enough? One of the most powerful lessons I've learned is that big changes don't happen overnight. They happen over time through small, consistent steps. Think of it like building a house. You don't build it all at once. You lay one brick at a time, and over time, the house begins to take shape. For example, when I decided to start eating healthier, I didn't completely change my diet overnight. I didn't suddenly stop eating my favorite snacks. Instead, I made small changes. I swapped sugary drinks for water, added more fruits and vegetables to my meals, and cut back on fast food. At first, these changes didn't feel like much, but over time, I noticed that I was feeling better. I had more energy, and my clothes started fitting better. These small changes added up to a big transformation. The same principle applies to learning English. Instead of trying to learn everything at once, focus on small, achievable goals. You don't need to memorize 100 new words every day. Start with 5 new words, practice them until they stick, and then move on to the next set. Little by little, you'll build your vocabulary and your confidence. Fear is one of the biggest things that keeps us inside our comfort zones. We're afraid of failure, of making mistakes, or of looking foolish. But here's the truth: making mistakes is a part of learning and growing. In fact, it's one of the best ways to learn. When you're trying something new, fear is normal. But don't let it control you. Instead of letting fear stop you, use it as fuel. Each time you feel afraid, remind yourself that this is part of the process. It means you're doing something that challenges you, and that's how you grow. For example, when I first started speaking English with native speakers, I was terrified. I worried that I would make mistakes, that they wouldn't understand me, or that I would say something wrong. But over time, I realized that everyone makes mistakes, even native speakers. The important thing is to keep going, to keep trying, and to learn from those mistakes. When you push past fear, you unlock a world of possibilities. You become stronger, more confident, and better prepared to handle challenges. The next time fear comes knocking, you'll be ready to face it head-on. Stepping out of your comfort zone isn't always easy. There will be moments when you want to give up, when it feels too hard, or when you question if it's worth it. But those moments of struggle are where you build resilience and mental strength. Resilience is the ability to bounce back after facing challenges or setbacks. It's the ability to keep going, even when things get tough. And the best way to build resilience is by pushing yourself outside your comfort zone. For instance, when I started working out regularly, it wasn't always easy. There were days when I didn't feel like going to the gym. There were days when I felt tired or sore. But I pushed through, and each time I did, I became stronger, both physically and mentally. I learned that the hard times don't last forever, but the strength you build from them does. The same goes for learning English. There will be days when you struggle to understand something, when you forget a word, or when you can't speak as fluently as you'd like. But those moments are temporary. What matters is that you keep going. Each challenge you face helps you grow stronger and more resilient. And with each step, you move closer to your goal. Staying motivated is often one of the hardest parts of breaking out of your comfort zone. At first, everything feels exciting and new, but after a while, the novelty wears off, and it becomes harder to stay motivated. One way to stay motivated is by setting clear, achievable goals. Break your big goal into smaller steps and celebrate each milestone you reach. This will give you a sense of accomplishment and help you stay on track. For example, if your goal is to speak English more fluently, start by setting a goal to speak for just 5 minutes a day. Once you've accomplished that, increase it to 10 minutes, then 20, and so on. Each time you reach a new goal, take a moment to celebrate. It doesn't matter how small the goal is. What matters is that you're making progress. Another way to stay motivated is by reminding yourself why you started in the first place. When things get tough, look back at the reasons why you want to make a change. Whether it's to improve your career, travel the world, or simply feel more confident, keep that reason in mind. It will help you stay focused and motivated, even when things get challenging. Consistency is the key to success. It's not about doing everything perfectly or making huge changes all at once. It's about showing up every day and making small improvements. Over time, those small improvements add up to big results. Think about it this way. If you want to get better at speaking English, you don't need to practice for hours every day. Just spending 15 minutes a day practicing can make a big difference. The more consistently you practice, the better you'll become. This is true for any goal. Whether you want to get fit, learn a new skill, or improve your English, consistency is the secret ingredient. The more you practice, the more confident you will become, and the closer you'll get to achieving your goal. As you step out of your comfort zone, having a support system can make a huge difference. You don't have to go through this journey alone. Surrounding yourself with people who support you can provide motivation, encouragement, and a sense of community. Your support system could be family, friends, or even online communities. For example, when I started learning English more seriously, I joined a language group online. I shared my progress with others, and they shared theirs. We encouraged each other and celebrated small victories. This support helped me keep going, even on days when I felt discouraged. Having a strong support system can also keep you accountable. If you know someone is expecting you to show up, it's easier to keep going. Whether it's a workout buddy, a language partner, or a friend cheering you on, having someone by your side can make all the difference. As you break free from your comfort zone, don't forget to celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Often, we focus so much on the big goal that we forget to appreciate the small steps we take along the way. But these small wins are important. They keep you motivated and remind you that you are making progress. For example, if your goal is to speak English more fluently, celebrate when you have a successful conversation, even if it's just a short one. If you finish reading a book in English, celebrate that too. These small milestones add up to bigger achievements, and by celebrating them, you're reinforcing the positive changes you're making in your life. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that success only matters when you reach the finish line. But the truth is, success is built on the small wins you collect along the way. So, take a moment to celebrate every step forward, no matter how small it may seem. Even when you make progress, setbacks will happen. There will be days when things don't go as planned, when you feel like you've taken 2 steps back instead of 1 step forward. But setbacks are a natural part of the process, and they don't mean you've failed. Instead, they're opportunities to learn and grow. For example, when I started learning English, there were days when I couldn't remember new vocabulary or made mistakes while speaking. I felt frustrated and wondered if I was getting anywhere. But instead of quitting, I took those setbacks as a sign that I was pushing myself, and I used them as a way to improve. I reviewed what I struggled with and tried again. The important thing was not giving up. The key to overcoming setbacks is to keep moving forward. Don't let one bad day or mistake define your progress. Remember why you started and focus on your long-term goals. Setbacks are just temporary bumps in the road. They don't determine your journey. What matters is your ability to get back up, dust yourself off, and keep going. As you move through this process, something amazing happens. You begin to create a new normal for yourself. Your comfort zone starts to shift, and the things that once felt difficult or scary become part of your daily life. For example, at first, speaking English might have been a challenge. You might have felt nervous or unsure of yourself. But after consistently practicing and stepping out of your comfort zone, speaking English starts to feel normal. It's no longer a task you dread, it's a part of your routine. This is the beauty of consistency. Over time, the things that once seemed hard become easy. The changes you've made don't feel like efforts anymore, they feel natural. And this new normal is something you've created. You've built it from the small steps you've taken every day. Once you've stepped out of your comfort zone and made progress, you might wonder, what's next? The great thing is that this journey of growth and self-improvement never really ends. There's always something new to learn, a new goal to achieve, or a new challenge to take on. For example, once you've become comfortable speaking English, you can challenge yourself by watching movies in English without subtitles or by speaking with native speakers. You can push yourself further by writing essays or joining English-speaking clubs. The idea is to continue pushing the boundaries of your comfort zone and to keep learning. When you stop growing, you stop learning. The key is to keep looking for new opportunities to improve and develop. Whether it's a new skill, a new hobby, or a new challenge, there's always room to grow. And the more you step out of your comfort zone, the more natural it will feel. When you step out of your comfort zone and make changes in your life, the effects don't just stop with you. The positive changes you make can inspire those around you. Your friends, family, and even colleagues might notice the difference in you and feel inspired to make changes in their own lives. For example, when I started getting fitter, some of my friends noticed how much more energy I had. They started asking me what I was doing, and before I knew it, some of them began working out with me. It felt good to know that my journey was inspiring others to make changes as well. The ripple effect of your transformation can spread to others. When you show up and take action, you not only change your own life, you can help others change theirs too. So, don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. You might just inspire someone else to do the same. Stepping out of your comfort zone is one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself. It's the first step toward growth, learning, and transformation. It's not always easy, but it's worth it. The key is to take it one small step at a time. Remember, change doesn't need to be a giant leap. It just needs to be consistent. As you push yourself to try new things, remember that setbacks and challenges are normal. Don't let them stop you. Keep moving forward, celebrate your progress, and surround yourself with people who support you. You have the power to change your life, and it all starts with stepping out of your comfort zone. So, what are you waiting for? The life you've always wanted is just beyond that comfort zone. Take that first step today and see where it takes you.
Hey, if you learned something new today, please give this video a like. Write your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second and it really helps to create more English videos for you. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.